So now that Antigravity has been out for a few weeks now and Gemini 3 is available, I wanted to update my School Worksheet app to use Gemini 3. I thought this would be a good way to kind of show off how to use Antigravity, which is a new agentic IDE that Google has offered. So I'll show you first how to get the app set up. We are going to start fresh. Could always import from Wizard. We'll start fresh. I like a dark theme. There's different goes way about this. I am a fan of review-driven development because that's going to keep me in the loop. Agent-driven development can let you do some other stuff there as well. You can see the difference there. Basically, are the reviews, or is it just going to go ahead and do stuff? We're going to go with the reviews because that's what I prefer. I like to be the human in the loop. I'm going to keep all the basic stuff that it says to go with. Sign in with Google. All right, so notice that it says here introducing Gemini Flash. That's to actually go ahead and use it to update code, but I actually update my project to use Gemini 3 Flash. So for that, let me go ahead and open up the project, which I have locally right here. All right, so here we've got different models I can choose from. We're going to go ahead, we're going to go with 3 Pro High. Why not? Different modes, planning mode, fast mode. I want to show planning mode, even though my changes could be very simple. So basically what I want to do is update this web app to use the new Gemini 3 Flash preview model. And the key thing that's kind of interesting here is I want to actually run the app locally to test out my change. The change is pretty simple, but I actually want to see it tested out. So let's watch what it does. So here, the first time you use Antigravity, you'll see it's going to prompt you, can you do notifications? This is showing the fact that I can comment on the artifacts. So in this case, it's coming up with an implementation plan for me to review first. So it's going to update the GenKit configuration to use the Flash preview as I requested. That sounds good. Update the model property in GenKit to Google Gemini 3 Flash preview. That's what I expect. That all looks good. It's going to then run the application locally using the dev environment, open the web app in the browser, upload the sample worksheet that I provided, and verify the application successfully generates 5 sample problems. Now, I want to make sure it knows what to do here, so let me just leave a comment here. To verify it, you will need to upload the file, analyze the worksheet, and then wait for that to load before you scroll to the bottom of the next screen and click the button to generate 5 practice problems. So this is the good part of having a plan. The plan looks good. It may or may not know what to do here. I want to make sure it does. So I'm taking an extra step here just to, there's a few extra seconds to make sure it works well. All looks good. We will proceed with the plan and my 1 comment. So as it's doing the work, it's updating my file here. That's what I want to happen there. It's going to accept it. You also notice there's this task thing here. So it's actually going ahead and it's going to check stuff off. So it did make that update already. It checked it off. Now it's going to look at that task list and see what's next. It wants because I told it to have me review everything. So it wants to run these commands, either even just simple commands to understand where stuff is. So here it's trying to make sure it knew where the worksheet was. Now it's going to go ahead and run that project. Started up my Next.js environment. And then it's going to prompt me to use the browser. So we're going to go ahead and set that up. So we'll install the extension. Same way you install any other extension in Chrome. All right, that has been added. Now there's an error. Now you notice the blue outline is that the blue highlight actually is not mine. That's something that Antigravity does. So it got a 500 error, and now it's going to figure out what's going on. Then this is what happens. Whenever it tells you to run rmrf, you always want to double check that. That's why we review this stuff. So it wants to delete the next directory here. This is that whole cache there. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to abandon ship. When I see they're trying to delete files unsafely, let's just stop. So here's what I'm going to do. Had a problem running it locally. Like I said, I've actually never run it locally through the dev server. I've always built it. So let's actually leave a comment here. So to run the app locally, do not run Next.js in build, in dev mode. Instead, build the app and run it as prod locally. So let's see if it can go ahead and do that. You know, you realized I was adamant about not doing this, so we're going to stop. Deny. Stop trying to use JavaScript to select elements and do stuff with that. Just click what I told you to click. Oh, look. While I was typing it, it did the right thing. It's like it knew what I was typing. Oh my gosh. Deny. Pending comment. It's too bad. One last try. Yeah, you can scroll that way. All right, this is what we call it trying too hard. The potential's there. We can see it click around, which is cool. Just for some reason, the server is not working when it's running. So this is stuff to work through in the future, but overall, I can see the potential here. There's good stuff. More to come.